Hey everyone, Ryan Young, Jiu-Jitsu, and I hope you're doing well. What I've learned after doing Jiu-Jitsu all these years, and we're talking, let's say I started '89, so what are we, 32 years now, is that I've seen teaching and learning from a number of different perspectives. Perspectives that, well, that would kind of make me feel favorable about it, and some that would obviously make me feel unfavorable about it. I've seen good teachers and I've seen crappy teachers, as have many of you. Now, some of you and most of our people who watch these videos are relatively new, white belt level type people, probably in your 20s, right? Maybe 30s. And kind of just getting into this art, that I love, that a lot of us love, and that undoubtedly you love too. So let me kind of give you an idea. What's the best way to learn? The best way to learn jiu-jitsu is through private lessons. Now, most of us cannot afford them, right? And it'd be a good thing if the school that we're at offers us a way to learn them in a way that makes it a little more reasonable to learn. When I learned, it was $40 for a half an hour. So I took, and this was back in 89, 89, 90, 91, 92. I mean, I stopped taking them from Howson when I left Hawaii in 1992. So, if you kind of figure what is that worth today, I think I did a time value of money analysis on that maybe a year or two ago, and it came out to the equivalent of, I want to say 300 an hour. So, 150 for a half an hour, which, wasn't cheap then, but, I worked hard, and I did my privates with Howson. It turns out Dave Kama did too. He just did in California. And at the same time, I also took the group classes too. So I had the group membership as well. But as the years have gone on and as the popularity of jiu-jitsu has kind of come online, group classes have been the norm. Whereas when I started, private lessons were the norm. But I saw the shift was starting to happen, but I had the ability to, so I took private lessons. Now, as time went on and I noticed that other people were training, they really didn't have the ability to take private lessons, unfortunately. So you just kind of had to learn in a group setting. Now, originally, I remember Jorge and Gracie telling me that and Dave telling me as well, group classes, at least in California, were just started because they weren't really a class. They were just sessions where a bunch of guys would kind of get together and train, maybe 10 guys, and they all did private lessons, and they decided, hey, let's get together on Saturday at 1 o'clock and let's get some training in together. It was a training session. And a lot of these guys might have been more senior guys, and eventually they started maybe inviting some people in that were more junior or beginners, and it kind of got to be a class. So when Jorge and Gracie opened up Gracie Torrance, he had a lot of people. The academy was a way to get all the people off of the waiting list and into the studio, and he gave them an option for group classes. And that's kind of how it started. And when people are thinking, when they want to join the academy, they want to know the cheapest way to do it. And the cheapest way to do it is through group classes, so that becomes the norm. Whereas when I started, it was oftentimes the exception, right? So fast forward 30 some odd years, here we are now, and everybody's learning through group classes. Now, Dave does have a bunch of students he teaches privately. I have a bunch that I teach and have taught over the years, but I don't do too many of them as and the reason is because at any given time, because it hurts. I'm not a big guy, and what am I going to do? I'm going to get smashed by you. I'm going to teach you how to smash me and how to bend me in all kind of ways, and it's very uncomfortable. But at the same time, it is the best way to teach and to learn. And a lot of the guys that are more veteran students here, at least in the Dallas, Texas campus of KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu, are products of private learning. So every school will kind of offer them. The instructors will do it. Mostly they do it because it's a way for them to supplement their income. And if you're running a school and you live off of the school, then I guess that makes sense. You have group classes and you also supplement with some private instruction. But really, if you as a student want the best experience in learning jiu-jitsu, you need to consider finding a way to take private lessons. We go to school, regular school, our kids go to school and they learn in a group class. But the ones that learn the best are the ones that have tutoring, the ones that have lessons for music, or they have a math tutor or anything like that, because, the private time does kind of help. So jiu-jitsu is no different in that way. And if you have the means, you really should consider it. So I don't know what other academies do, because I really don't keep up with a lot of other academies, but I know that with Kama Jiu-Jitsu, we've always offered privates, but now we've created an actual membership, a monthly membership, to where people can just do private lessons, and then they can do the group class membership as an add-on. Now, granted, it's you have to have the means to do it. It's just one of those things. Some people will say, oh, jiu-jitsu is expensive. Well, yeah, it is, and admittedly so. And there are good reasons why it's expensive. It'd be awesome if we could, bring it in at a lower price point, but you really can't. But we're at least trying to, we're trying this out. We do have a program that we just started. We call it our Premier program, Premier 1, 2, and 3. And it offers our members and our prospective members 3 tiers for private learning. So they can learn the white to blue belt curriculum. They can learn modules 1 through 6 in order for them. Because in a group class, you don't get to learn in order. Because I have my instructors come in. We do an instructor training seminar every Sunday over at my house. And I tell them, I say, look, we need to try to be as individual as we can in our group class, but at the end of the day, what we teach, or the level that we teach, is going to be dependent on the level of student that attends the class, right? If the average student that comes in is a middle white belt, then we're going to teach to the middle white belt. On the other hand, if we have another day where the average student that comes in is a purple belt, then we're going to teach that same concept, but at the purple belt level. Now, if you're taking private lessons, you can learn it at your speed. And then you supplement it with the group classes, makes it even better, which is how I learned it, which is, to me, it's a great way to do it. You got to learn both. You got to do both, because a private lesson gets you time with your instructor, or the training dummy that your instructor will bring in, whereas a group class gets you other people, different height, weight, strength, age, all that kind of stuff. And you kind of need that. You need that variety in training partners. But when it comes time to learn something, you need to learn something. You need to learn what you need to learn in a methodical way. And so, anyway, for those of you that don't take private lessons, consider taking one from your instructor. Consider putting in your budget to take one a month or something like that, just to kind of plug some holes or to fix some parts of your game that you might not be as proficient in as you wish. And give it a few months and see where you're at. I'm convinced that you will find that it is preferable. Now, those of you who already do privates, you already know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I hope this kind of answered some questions on whether or not you should consider private lessons or not. My answer is yes, you should, but if you have to kind of do what your budget allows. And hopefully your school has the ability for you to do that. On the other hand, let's say you travel a lot, and you like to drop in at jiu-jitsu schools all over. Consider taking a private when you go and drop in at a school. Now, you can do a class, you just want to exercise, whatever, but sometimes, if you have somebody who's particularly known with a particular concept, technique, or style of jiu-jitsu, then consider booking a private with that individual, and it may be something that may be worth your while in the long run. Anyway, hope all is well with you guys. If you made it this long, please do us a favor and go ahead and like the video if you did. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you get more of this type of information. And if you want to join us online and you want to do Kama Jiu-Jitsu's curriculum, feel free to join us at Kama Jiu-Jitsu Online. Or if by the time this goes out, we should have a Kama Jiu-Jitsu mobile app in the the App Store or the Google Play Store. Anyway, hope to see you soon. Take care. Happy training. Bye-bye now.